Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Empowered Gems Tarot. My name is Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking ahead into the upcoming month of August, seeing what's happening for you using tarot, oracle cards, and charms. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Choose the card or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. Hey group one, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this little amethyst crystal, this will be your message for the upcoming month of August. So we're going to get to these oracle cards in just a moment. I'm actually going to start the reading today using tarot. We'll also be getting some charms for you. That'll be timestamped below in case you guys like to skip ahead to that a little bit quicker. The charms will give us a little higher specificity than sometimes the oracle and tarot cards will do. But we're going to start off with a little spread here using the tarot. And we're going to look into where you're starting from this month of August, what is asking to shift this month, what August is bringing in for you, and how you can meet it. Okay, so a little different take on this than my typical monthly forecast. Just wanted to try something new. So let's see, Spirit, for group number one, where are they? Ooh, okay. It's like half the deck. Where is group one starting off the month of August? Where is group one starting off the month of August? We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. What's asking to shift this month? What's asking to shift this month? Something to release. We have the Empress in reverse. What is August bringing in for them? We have what are you? A King of Swords in reverse. And how should group one meet this energy? We have the Page of Swords. Okay. We do have a Devil in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So I like seeing that because I definitely feel like there's some sort of toxic or depleting energy that is being released from your life this month, group one. So let's dig into this spread. So your starting position this month is represented by the Eight of Swords, and it was in reverse, which is a good thing. I love the imagery on this card. It says lockdown on it, and you can see that she's sort of stuck, right? She's stuck in a room. She's stuck behind these bars. And the Eight of Swords is very much like a mental prison, like a mental stuckness that we're in. Sometimes it can be a little bit of imposter syndrome or just feeling like we don't have as much power over a situation to get the result that we want, when really we have more power than we think we do. It's just those self-sabotaging thoughts and views and beliefs that are keeping us stuck. Well, the good news is that this is in reverse when you guys come into the upcoming month of August, where you're releasing, you're stepping away from that. I feel like you guys are in a much more empowered headspace around your thinking, how you're processing through things, how you're acting and navigating through your situation. And with the Devil in reverse here and the Nine of Cups underneath of that, this definitely tells me that you're stepping out of some sort of a toxic dynamic. Now, we do have some images here of like a couple, like a romantic situation here. So for some of you, this could be connected to love or romance, maybe even family for some of you guys, or larger groups that you have emotional harmony and resonance with. But there's a release of this energy. And I feel like a lot of that is coming through you releasing this paralysis of action because of negative thinking or self-sabotaging thoughts. And there may even be you getting something that you want here, maybe through a partnership. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but I feel like you are supported this month. And what is asking to be released is represented by the Empress in reverse. She's called the Etsy Queen in this deck. So when I think of the Etsy Queen, Etsy is a platform theoretically where you have a lot of creatives, right, who are showcasing their creative art, whether that's like, you can get tarot decks on there. You can get so many things on Etsy where like creatives can sell their product. And so the Empress in reverse, to me, it's talking about you guys. Well, let me back up. The Empress can be an energy not only of creation and creativity, but it can also be an energy of nurturing, like more of a divine feminine leadership style. Sometimes it can even be an energy of you guys taking care of others, whether it's like being a mother or embodying that nurturing energy toward yourself or other people in your surroundings. Now, the Empress in reverse is what's asking to be released this month. So there's something here around you guys removing yourself from a mindset, a situation, an approach where you're doing too much, where you're feeling depleted or others are like siphoning off of your energy. Right? Empress in reverse can be that overfunctioner. It can be like a maternal archetype that hovers a little too much, who takes on others' responsibilities as her own emotionally when she doesn't really have to do that, right? And it can be a very depleting energy to be in. And it may be connected to this devil in reverse here, where there is a release of a toxic dynamic situation, environment. And Spirit is saying that this month, if you've been participating in that energy exchange in any way, it's more of you overfunctioning or taking on too much or depleting yourself to create or nurture or take care of the situation or others. Okay. Now, what's coming toward you this month is really interesting. We have the King of Swords in reverse. And here you can see what they're calling this. A grown man. I'm not going to say it because I think I get in trouble on YouTube if I say curse words. So this is really interesting because a King of Swords in reverse, this could be a person for some of you, or it could be an energy. But typically when we see a King of Swords in reverse, this is going to be somebody who is illogical in their thinking, someone who's not thinking things through very well, someone who's not strategic, someone who's not a visionary, somebody who's not a good problem solver, unclear communication. And it's represented by a masculine authority type of archetype. So just watch out for that. There is a situation coming your way where things are not going to be clear. It could even be that someone or something is not taking accountability, because when you look at this archetype and the way they describe it, this is somebody who takes care of their stuff. They're grown, right? And so there could be an immaturity here around a situation or a person that's coming your way. And what Spirit is saying with this Page of Swords is like how you meet this is through being curious and skeptical. So don't feel like you need to give too much of yourself into this situation. Don't feel like you need to fix the situation if it's somebody who's having a problem solving something. You know, the Page of Swords is a healthy skeptic. They're asking questions, they're probing, they're learning, they're researching, digging in a little bit more before they're going to move forward with action. And I've also noticed here that this is the teletherapist. So maybe for some of you, you could be talking through the situation in therapy or seeking some sort of professional help or guidance in that way to help get you through this situation here. All right, so let's take a look at your oracle cards and then we'll get more details with your charms. All right, so we've got Jupiter, abundance, which I love. Excuse me, sorry guys. We have the husband, marriage, groom, and then we also have strength, resourceful, the bear. So Jupiter coming through is a beautiful energy. Jupiter is expansive, right? So wherever it's hitting the natal chart, it's making that situation bigger. It's magnifying it. A lot of astrologers will talk about Jupiter being this lucky, abundant planet, and it could be in the sense that it's bringing you more quantity of something or expanding something that could be beneficial to you. But that's not always the case, right? Because if it's going over an area of the chart where there are some challenging placements or aspects, remember it's making that bigger, okay? So there is something coming through for you guys this month where the situation may feel bigger or it's more magnified. And maybe that is why Spirit is saying with this Empress in reverse that you need to really protect your energy and just make sure that you're not overextending yourself just because there's an abundance of opportunity for you to help or take care of or nurture. right? Being more skeptical or more questioning before you jump in with that Page of Swords is going to be best advised to you. We also have the Bear. So this talks about being resourceful. This could be connected to this Eight of Swords in reverse, where I feel like maybe coming into the beginning of the month of August, you guys are in a place where whatever has been keeping you stuck, you're finding ways around that. You're kind of clearing the mind and you're finding like a way forward that feels more empowering for you, maybe through this Page of Swords energy of like researching, fact finding, analyzing a little bit more closely. There could be some expansion in your finances this month as well with the Bear and the Jupiter cards being next to each other. So that could be a theme for you. But that Strength card also talks about or the Strength term also talks about being courageous, right? And so that might be something within this situation that you're guided to do. You guys do also have the Groom here. So there could be a masculine with this King of Swords in reverse of significance. Maybe this is somebody that you're dealing with romantically for some of you, somebody that you're married to or would be considering marriage, something along those lines. It is interesting too, when I was earlier, when I was kind of picking up on the couples that were here. If you guys look at this Devil, you can see that there's a couple at the center of this card, which makes me wonder if some of you guys are dealing with a romantic relationship that you're trying to detoxify from a little bit this month, or even not necessarily detoxify from the person, but just cleanse the energy of the connection if you're not breaking up, something like that. Maybe even going to therapy with your partner, your husband. But partnership is significant for a lot of you guys with that Groom showing up. There is definitely a connection to a masculine King of Swords in reverse that is coming through, okay? So we're going to clear off the cards and then we'll take a look at the charms next. All right, group one. So let's take a look at the Astro Dice and the charms and we'll see what additional detail we can find out for you about your month of August. All right. Let's see what we've got here. And let's pull some charms for you guys. Group one. This will give us a little more detail into the specifics, the specific areas that Spirit is highlighting for you guys this month. I just want to make sure these are really mixed up well. Okay. All right, so we've got, I feel like this is, I'm actually going to pull these and do them again because I feel like they didn't land anywhere super clean. There we go. All right. Yeah, see, there's a fresh start here with the Strawberry in love and relationships this month. So you guys are definitely trying to cleanse a relationship. The Strawberry talks about spring, right? So when I think of spring, I think of a new season, a new beginning. So there's some sort of new season with a one-on-one partnership that you guys are exploring, whether that's romantic or platonic. Something else that I'm seeing here for you guys is some structure and some discipline coming to your routine and your career. You know, Saturn energy, it is an energy of discipline. It is an energy of doing things the slow way, kind of like slowing down to speed up or doing it the right way, not necessarily the fast way. Can also talk about like energy that feels strict or energy that feels like just disciplined. You know what I mean? Or structured in nature. But with it being next to the music note, there's a harmonious energy to this. I kind of wonder if for some of you in your career, things have felt kind of with that Devil in reverse, like maybe a little toxic, or maybe you've been feeling depleted with that Empress in reverse because of work. There's some sort of structure coming in for you this month that's going to be well received with that music note where things feel really in sync. And I think that you guys like it. Saturn is a rewarding planet, right? It definitely gets a lot of negativity online sometimes, but really it's like when you do it the right way and you work with the energy of Saturn and you take a disciplined approach, it brings rewards toward the end, right? And so coming back to that Jupiter energy, that could be a part of the abundance that's hitting you guys this month is like, if you've been structured and disciplined in your career, it almost feels like there could be a reward here for you that feels more in harmony than how it's felt in the past. You guys are also getting some news here around your financial situation as well. Now, for some of you, this actually looks really positive because the Christmas tree talks about joy. So you could be like getting some news that makes you feel really happy, getting some news that brings you joy. Some of you guys could even be getting news that you're getting some sort of like promotion. The reason I say that is because Saturn talks about responsibility, right? So when I think of responsibility, it could be like taking on more at work. Again, that Jupiter energy, taking on a more responsible position at work. That's a step up from where you've been before, but there's going to be that discipline around it, right? But either way, you're getting some sort of news here around your finances that's going to make you feel really happy. Some of you guys could even be spending money on activities that bring you joy as well. So definitely watch out for that. That feels like a really positive energy as I'm channeling into it. Now, you guys have some stuff down here with home and family. So let's take a look. We've got, what number is that? 7? And then we also have Aquarius. I'm going to come to my little guidebook for the number 7. So 7 here is introspection and intuition. And Aquarian energy, as defined here in this guidebook, is talking about individuality and uniqueness. So that makes sense. You guys could be doing some reflection this month around your family situation or around your living situation. Maybe home and family matters have been something that you've needed a break from for a little while for some of you. And I do see that continuing in the month of August. Aquarian energy standing out as the unique one, the rebellious one, kind of marching to the beat of your own drum. This could be something that you're reflecting on a little bit this month. And maybe for some of you, that devil energy. Remember at the bottom of the deck, we had the 9 of Cups and we had the 10 of Cups underneath that as well, indicating family matters, right? Queen of Swords underneath of that. And so the Queen of Swords reversed could be that maybe you guys have been struggling with boundaries with family. Maybe you've been struggling with being independent from your family in some form or fashion, and you're wanting to do something that feels more satisfying to you personally. So I feel like there's going to be some reflection around that. Aquarian energy is a very authentic energy too. It's like I want to do what is authentic to me versus what everybody else feels like I should be doing, right? And so maybe for some of you guys, that Empress in reverse that we got in the tarot spread is around you guys overfunctioning for family or feeling depleted because of the way you're showing up in your family system. There's going to be some reflection around that as you pull back from family and home matters this month. Now we also have the little fire element, and we have the first house under spirit and self. I do feel, even though you guys have a new fresh start here with a partnership, I definitely feel like this month, especially with this introspective energy around home and family, that there is more energy that you guys are going to be putting into you. The first house is the house of self, right? If we come over to the guidebook, it's defined here as inner self, outward expression. And the fire element is cool because the fire element is saying that there's passion, there's energy, there's excitement. So you guys could be investing more in you, in your inner world. But I also feel for some of you, this could be an investment in your outer world too, right? First house, it could be like, how do I want to express myself physically, right? How do I want to express myself to the external world in a way that feels authentic and real to me? So maybe some of you guys are getting like a beauty treatment, or fire element makes me think of like sports or the gym or fitness. Something like that could be connected to this, but feeling more passionate about your spiritual world and your outward expression and channeling energy there this month will be significant. You guys have in your advice and guidance section of this little chart, the waning gibbous moon. And this has to do with reevaluating habits and relationships. And I think this ties a really neat bow on your reading because of this definitely the Empress in reverse card, but also the Devil in reverse card. So you are in a period of evaluation this month, group 1, around your relationships one-to-one and how you show up, whether it's in career, whether it's in love or family. Really, I feel like it could be all 3 for a lot of you guys. This is a month where I think that you're focusing more on how do you show up and how do you specifically contribute to situations that have been less than ideal in result, right? If there's a toxic situation here with the devil, It usually takes two to tango, or we're just in an environment that's toxic and we need to remove ourselves from it. Right. And so I do see you removing yourselves from it, especially if it's toxic with family. If it's with work, I see it's coming through more discipline and being more serious about things, being more mature about things at work. And with love and partnership, it's more about that freshness, like that openness of heart to new beginnings. So it's a really beautiful month for you, Group 1. I'm excited to see how it pans out. So comment below, let me know how this resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this little clear quartz crystal, this will be your message for the upcoming month of August. We're going to begin by doing a tarot spread for you guys, and then we'll transition into charms. The charms portion will be timestamped in the description box below. I know that some of you guys like to skip ahead to that, so I like to keep it timestamped. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do something a little different with this reading today on the channel, where I'm going to be doing a tarot spread to start us off. And what we're going to be looking into today is where you're starting at the beginning of the month of August. What is asking to shift for you this month? What needs to be released? We'll take a look at what August is bringing in for you and how you can actually meet that energy, okay? So let's go ahead and see Group 1. So Spirit, where is Group 1 starting the month of August, please? We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And what is asking to shift or be released this month, please, Spirit? For Group 2, we have the Four of Swords. Okay. What is August bringing in for Group 2? We have the Knight of Swords. I'm sorry, that's the Knight of Wands. And how can Group 2 meet this energy? Temperance. Okay, I like this message for you guys. I'm going to pull this down here. And then we do have a Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. All right, so let's take a look, Group 2. What is happening for you guys? Okay. So you guys are starting off the month of August in this energy of the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Now the Four of Pentacles is typically an energy where we are holding on to resources, holding on to something. It sometimes can be a necessary energy, like Four of Pentacles can be like, I need to save money. I need to hold on to my resources right now. But it can also be an energy where we're kind of closed off, right? We're holding so tightly to something that is familiar and comfortable to us. And it's like we're holding on to it out of fear. Do you get what I'm saying? It keeps us closed off to other opportunities. It's interesting here though, because it's like in this energy depiction of the Four of Pentacles, it talks about a pyramid scheme. And this person is literally like climbing up this pyramid. You can see he's wearing like hiking gear. It's like this treacherous mountain that he is climbing, but it's in reverse. And so I feel like a lot of you guys are coming into the month of August, especially with this Four of Swords next to it, feeling pretty tired of something, feeling like you've been working really hard, either financially because of finances or just in general, working really hard to climb something or to achieve something. And it may just not be yielding the return on investment that you guys have been looking for. And so the Four of Pentacles in reverse is like, I'm just giving up. I'm just releasing that. I'm releasing my hold on that situation. If you think of a pyramid scheme, right, it's only the people at the top who really benefit from it. It's almost like a scam, really. And so it might feel like it has that energy to it, Group 2, where it's like whatever you've been holding on to, whatever you're letting go of, it might feel like, gosh, that whole situation was just so like fruitless for me. I put in all this effort. I tried. I held on to it for so long, and it just didn't give me what I needed to feel stable. So it's a good thing, I think. Now, what Spirit is asking you to release or shift this month is this Four of Swords. This is an energy of leaning back, right? Taking a rest, taking a break. And so I feel there is an energy where this is needed to a degree, right? The self-care message is really beautiful. You can see here that there's a depiction of like a little facial roller. There's like makeup here. So there could be an element of like pulling back your energy from whatever this thing was that was exhausting you and letting you just sort of take care of yourself a little bit more, getting a beauty service, like investing in your appearance, like doing whatever self-care makes you feel rested and gives you a mental break from whatever you've been stressing about. But the other side of this coin that I feel for you guys is that spirit does not want you to remain in this energy of like pulling back and resting and detaching for too long, because you have a Knight of Wands coming toward you, okay? And this Knight of Wands with this life coach energy that's here, this is somebody who's coming in, who's wanting to inspire you, who's wanting to infuse energy into you. Maybe this is literally a life coach, or we have a therapist here at the bottom of the deck as well, teletherapy being highlighted. That doesn't have to be literal for everybody, right? Like it doesn't mean that it's literally a life coach or literally a therapist, but there's someone here I feel who is wanting to inspire you, or who's going to inspire you. Maybe it's somebody who's like a public speaker, somebody who has a lot of passion and energy towards something or towards you specifically. And the reason that I feel like spirit is wanting you to entertain this situation or this person is because we have the temperance energy here, which is how they're asking you to meet the moment. Now, the temperance energy is very interesting because it is about balance and it is about moderation. And so I think that it's okay to approach this Knight of Wands in a more moderate way, meaning you don't have to be swept up in whatever they're sharing with you, right? You don't have to go in all the way with whatever they're sharing with you or wanting from you or wanting to do. You can still have your balance of your self-care and mental break from whatever this Four of Pentacles situation was for you, while engaging in experiences that give you more high energy and that are fun and exciting and give you like that life, right? That life force energy being kind of revved, if that makes sense. So meeting in the moment with temperance, not going all the way in, but not staying all the way out, keeping things balanced. And I love the eco-friendly energy too, because it does sort of have that it's like gives that metaphor of making progress towards something while making sure that it's sustainable. Does that make sense? So sustainability is the theme for you guys this month. That Four of Pentacles in reverse makes me feel like whatever you guys were doing was not sustainable, or it was like depleting you to be stuck in that situation or stuck in that mentality more than it was replenishing. Okay. So let's take a look at your oracle cards next. We have Cancer, I feel. We have Anchor, stability and security. And then we have the Lion, strength and success. That's beautiful. So Cancer, water energy connected to the fourth house, connected to themes around home, family, your private inner world. You guys might be feeling a lot this month. Maybe that's why we're in this space of needing a little bit of a mental break, or maybe some of you guys are seeking out like therapy, or you're seeking out just someone to talk to, someone who can energize you again. So yeah, I definitely think that there's an emphasis on your inner world this month with this Cancer energy being here, or matters of home and family could be significant as well. Cancer does kind of remind me a little bit of the energy of the Four of Pentacles at times, because if you think of the archetype of Cancer as the crab, right? And so when you think of a crab, it's got this hard shell exterior, but what is the interior, right? It's soft and mushy, which makes me feel like there could be something to that this month where you guys have been, I almost feel like it's about you shedding that hard exterior a little bit this month. Not having to go in all the way, right? You still are being guided to be skeptical with this Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck, but allowing yourself to soften to new experiences a little bit, allowing yourself to soften to whatever this Knight of Wands energy is that's coming your way. It may, with the Lion, take some courage for you. For some of you guys, this could be your energy, the Knight of Wands, that you're the one who's in that life coach, inspirational, out there, making progress, making moves, having fun, whatever it is, you're the one doing that. And maybe this is something that requires courage from you with this Lion being here. But your stability and security is integral as well with the anchor. And I think that's probably what this Four of Pentacles energy was for you leading into the month of August. It was like, I need to feel more secure. I need to feel more stable. And I think we're finally realizing as we come into the month of August that whatever that situation was, it wasn't giving us the stability and the security that we need, either financially and emotionally together, with Cancer energy being here. So, very interesting message, group 2. We're going to now clear off the cards and we'll get right into charms. All right, group 2. So, let's go ahead and jump into the dice and charms and see what other messages come through for you for the month of August. Charms are great because it usually gives us a little more clarity about like what areas of life are the most important. Look at all this stuff in finances. That's super interesting. And then we've got some stuff here in career. What is this? This is the 9th house. We've got Leo energy. So lots of connections already to your tarot and oracle cards. All right, let's take a look at the charms. We're going to get these nice and mixed up for you guys. So Spirit, what else can you tell us about August for group 2? What do they need to be aware of this month? Okay. Let's see. And look at that home and family stuff coming through for you as well. All right, and I'm going to just kind of like redo this one to see where it lands. Okay, home and family. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay. Let's see, where do I want to start? There's definitely something about you guys standing out in your career this month. So we've got Leo energy here. Makes a lot of sense with the lion that we had in your oracle card. So Leo is definitely about leading. It's being the public face of something. It is having an audience be drawn to you. It's actually quite reminding me of this Knight of Wands. So this could not necessarily be somebody else. It could be your own energy, group 2, of being out there publicly speaking, inspiring others, motivating others, lighting a fire under others. It's going to be connected to these 9th house themes, right? So 9th house talks about foreign travel. It talks about higher education and learning. It talks about beliefs, right? Like philosophical views, religious views, spiritual views, things like astrology. So it could be connected to any of those themes. I do feel with, this fire energy being here under finances and wealth, that the money you're earning this month from your career, the work is connected to something that you feel passionately about, and that may be quite ideologically aligned for you as well. Now, you guys do have a lot of stuff coming up under finances, which is really interesting because we started off the month with this Four of Pentacles and it was in the reverse. Okay, so I want to just double check the waxing crescent moon because I can't always remember what the moon phases mean. So this talks about moving toward your goals. Beautiful. So kind of starting off on a newer path, right? And so maybe the first step of that was releasing something that was no longer serving you. When it came to finances, letting go of a work stream, letting go of some sort of financial aid or resource, and starting off somewhere new, onto something new. There's a lot of passion and excitement around this. Again, I do feel like whatever you guys are doing in career is benefiting you financially, but there's also a red flag here with Neptune as it pertains to other people with the swan, because the swan talks about loyalty. I think about swans being in pairs, right? The swan has to do with loyalty, and Neptune can sometimes create confusion or deception or blurred lines. So there may be something to that you guys need to just be mindful of. Just watch out for that as you're embarking on this new journey. And when I think of financial matters, just in general, it's always a good best practice to make sure that you're very clear about what you're doing. Like, don't just assume, don't be too trusting. Neptune connected to Pisces, this can be like, oh, I just idealize this person. I trust this other person. I trust the situation. Always, always just be mindful of reading the fine print and knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. If you find yourself feeling like you just are really trusting of something, I would recommend reviewing that as much as you possibly can. Okay. But could also just be that you guys are doing something for work with that 9th house energy here that's connected to spirituality or beliefs, right? With Neptune. Or something that feels like very self-sacrificing or ideologically aligned in a positive way. So a couple things to look out for there. You have one kind of outlier over here with number 3 in your love and partnerships energy. So 3 has to do with creative expression, which is very interesting, and it's coming up under partnership. So wondering if this could have to do with the work that you guys are doing with the Knight of Wands. Creative expression in love and partnership. So maybe some of you guys are working with a partner that's a business partner where you have creative endeavors together. Maybe it's a creative hobby or interest that you have that you share in a partnership with someone. It doesn't always have to be connected to romantic partnership. This could be a business partner, a friend, anything like that as well. But creative expression is of significance. And you've got a lot going on down here in home and family as well. So something faded is coming through. It's interesting, right? Because Cancer energy is connected to home and family matters. Got a lot of energy here around spiritual lessons being unlocked in this area, faded energy in this area, and you have the initial of the letter E. So somebody's initials could be significant for somebody, right? Somebody with the name that starts with the letter E, or something significant connected to your home and family that starts with the letter E. We also have the moon and stars, which talks about being adored. Have you guys heard that phrase where we think somebody has hung the moon and stars, meaning that they just, we think they're just so great, right? We think that they're the best. So there's something connected to that adoring energy around home and family. I do feel like it may be connected to somebody specific whose name might start with the letter E, but there's some sort of spiritual knowledge or insight being unlocked for you around home and family matters this month. And this is very much faded. I would definitely recommend for you guys to, if you can, check your birth chart, because there could be some energy happening in that area, the 4th house for you this month, that would give you some clues into what this might be manifesting as for you. Only other thing we've got here is the letter S under spirit and self. So again, that could be connected to somebody's initials. Maybe it's connected to who you're interacting with in partnership, home and family. Maybe it's connected to your career. Something to do with you, though, specifically. So I think this is what I see for you, group 2. We're going to close it here, but comment below. Let me know what's been happening for you guys and what you have planned for the month of August. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey there, group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the little carnelian crystal, this will be your message. So today we're going to be looking into what is ahead for you for the upcoming month of August. We're going to start with tarot and oracle cards, and then we'll transition into charms and dice, which will be timestamped below in case you guys want to skip to that a little sooner. But I'm going to begin your reading today with a spread using the tarot. And we're going to start by looking at where you're starting. Your starting position, rather, coming into the month of August. We're going to take a look at what is asking to shift. So patterns, beliefs, energy that's no longer serving you, what needs to be released. We'll take a look at what's coming your way this upcoming month of August and how you can meet that in the moment, okay? So let's jump in, group 3. So Spirit, where is group 3 starting this upcoming month of August? All right, we've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What is asking to shift this month for group 3? Okay, we have an 8 of Cups in reverse. What is August bringing to them this month? The 8 of Vibes, literally obsessed. That is the 8 of Wands. And how can group 3 meet this energy? A 9 of Pentacles, beautiful. And then we also have a 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. All right, let's begin here. Yeah, so I kind of feel like there's just an undertone of you guys coming into this month maybe feeling a little blah. There's a little bit of apathy here. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time just like kind of bed rotting or just not really feeling like going out or like connecting with anyone. You're just kind of doing your own thing, just not interested in that kind of stuff. And I do feel there's going to be a shift to that. this month. Now, it's interesting because you all are starting off with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which means there's some sort of an opportunity here that's either been missed or there's an opportunity here for something new that hasn't really panned out for you. You know, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is typically about a new material beginning, a new financial beginning, like a new work opportunity. It's some sort of potential offer or opportunity that is not being invested in, right? That's not really being watered or nurtured or flourishing, really. It's just kind of stuck or stagnant or missed. And it's here in this card, it's depicted as a new gig. So maybe there's some sort of a new work opportunity that's being offered to you at the beginning of the month. And you guys are just like not feeling it with the Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And even if it's not a new work opportunity, it could just be an existing, I feel like for a lot of you, it's an existing opportunity or situation that you just haven't felt like investing in or that you haven't been able to invest in for some reason. And what Spirit is asking you to release this month is the Eight of Cups in reverse. Like it almost feels like these two things are connected to me, right? The Eight of Cups in reverse is about staying in something long past its expiration date, staying in something even though we know it is not fulfilling to us. I do notice here that this is labeled inner work, which is a very interesting energy. Maybe some of you guys, Spirit wants you to do some inner work around this Ace of Pentacles and this Four of Cups to understand like where the root cause is coming from. It's just like there's a reason that you're stuck in this energy, I feel. And stuck is the right word. It does feel like that for a lot of you guys. And Spirit may be guiding you to reflect a little bit on why. Where is it coming from? Why are we choosing to remain unhappy, really? If something isn't bearing fruit for us. Now, what's coming toward you, I love. This is where things start to get more exciting. So what's coming toward you in the month of August is this Eight of Wands. This is beautiful. So we go from this kind of dull gray energy to something more exciting, right? So the Eight of Wands brings in energy. It brings in passion. It brings in movement. It brings in travel. It brings in an energy of winning based off what I'm seeing intuitively in this card, right? You can see there's like a trophy up here in the top right corner. There's a medal here in the top left corner. This card is also connected to the sign of Sagittarius, as you guys can maybe see in the top left corner. So Sagittarian energy is about exploration. It's about travel. It's about philosophy, religion, spirituality, belief systems. So this Eight of Wands energy could be connected to any or all of those things. I don't know why, but I also feel like this person here looks really buff. So maybe there's something about fitness that could be significant or exercise that could be significant as well. But it's like you guys are getting a rush of excitement this month, which is really beautiful. And how Spirit is asking you to meet it in the moment, how you can embrace this energy or meet this energy is with this Nine of Pentacles, which is beautiful, right? So the Nine of Pentacles, it's grounded, it's practical, it's abundant. It has everything that it needs to feel fulfilled materially. It has everything that it needs to feel fulfilled just in general. And so that's how Spirit wants you to meet this rush of the Eight of Wands. It's not necessarily about getting swept up in it. It's about receiving it from a grounded place, knowing and understanding that you don't need it, right? You don't need it to make you happy because you've got everything that you need already. But you can engage in it and have fun and get yourself out of your little shell here. Because I do feel like a lot of you guys have been a little like reclusive, or there's been a bed rot energy happening here where it's like, I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like talking to this person. I'm just bored. I'm just going to stay on my phone, right? Maybe you're a little burnt out, some of you guys. This is also like a first-time homeowner is the card here too. So there could be something very literal about that for some of you, or maybe this month, you could be hosting people in your home. You could be investing in that type of investment, rather. But either way, it's like Spirit is asking you to meet the moment with individual sovereignty. All right, so let's look at your oracle cards next to see what else we get. All right, we've got the 7th house, partners. Ooh, we have new love, heart, or just love in general. And then we also have the hidden gem, pearl. That's cute. All right. So partnerships, one-to-one partnerships are going to be significant this month for you guys. I do feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with your love life too, right? So I feel like a lot of my group 3 viewers are the 9 of Pentacles here. You probably are single. You probably do have a home or a space that you've invested in or that you live in that you feel good in. It's just interesting. The house is like the key fixture in this card. And I do feel there's something coming up when you guys get out of the house this month with the 8 of Wands. Like that's the energy that the spirit is bringing you. I think you're probably going to meet someone when you're out with this love energy, this heart energy that's here. Because with this coming up underneath the Ace of Pentacles, I just feel like this group hasn't really invested in their love life, right? Like maybe that's just an area that has gotten not a lot of effort lately, and that's okay, right? You don't have to always be investing in that. Things happen for a reason. Sometimes we get swept up in other things, but it feels like that's the case. But there's this energy here of it being present for you this month. So I would say if you guys are single, 8 of Wands, like when people are inviting you to go out, go. Even if you don't really want to with the 8 of Cups in reverse. And it's like, I just want to be home. Go. There's also the pearl energy. So there's some sort of, I feel like this is a reminder from spirit for a lot of my group 3 viewers that you have really done a lot of your inner work. I know that there was a message here about doing inner work. I feel like that was more about career for a lot of you guys, but I do feel like there is some wisdom that you have when it comes to partnerships. You know, these 3 came up together, right? So you have that within you already, which I think might be where this 9 of Pentacles energy is coming from, right? Like you are really in a place where you're good being single, right? You're happy with your own company. And so I think there will be a very fun rush coming your way with the 8 of Wands. But you already know what you need to do, right? You already know what's right for you. You already know what's wrong for you. You're not necessarily going to get swept up in somebody's passionate energy, but you will enjoy it. And I almost feel like you guys don't need it, right? With the 9 of Pentacles, you're just like, it's fun, but I also like being inside. Does that make sense? And I think that's maybe the shift or the change within you, where maybe in the past, if somebody came at you with this 8 of Wands energy, rushing you into a relationship or like a whirlwind relationship that's very passionate, you might have gotten swept up in that. I don't see you doing that this month. Spirit is guiding you not to with the 9 of Pentacles. They're saying to stay grounded here. So this is super interesting, group 3. We're going to go ahead and clear all these cards and get into charms next. All right, group 3, welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump into your tarot and charms to see what else is coming your way in the month of August. I'm going to be really curious if we get stuff about your love life, because I feel like that was a pretty big area of focus with your tarot and oracle cards. Let's see. Okay. Well, one of the dice just flew across the floor, so we'll grab that later. So we've got second house energy. Let's see what we've got. What is this? For Jupiter. Okay. Let's get some charms for you guys. What else, Spirit, for group 3 in the upcoming month of August? What do they need to know? All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. This is going to go here. These are just like a bunch of initials that came out. These didn't land anywhere cleanly, so I'm going to do them again. Okay. Nice. All right. So what is happening? Where do we start? Well, there's nothing coming up in love and partnership, so that's interesting for sure. But there was stuff about that coming up in the tarot, so maybe this is just giving us the additional insight for the rest of the areas of life this month. Okay. I feel maybe this Ace of Pentacles in reverse could also be like maybe have been connected to social life for some of you, because I was feeling like a lot of my group 3 viewers, like you haven't been investing in love or partnership or relationships just in general, maybe. Or if you have, it hasn't worked out. What I'm seeing here with social life and others is we have the button, which talks about pushing through. So you guys might actually be giving yourselves a little push this month to kind of solidify something socially. We have the letter Q next to it. So the Q could be somebody's initials. It could be an event. It could be anything of significance to you. I heard the word quitting when I saw that initially. So if you feel like quitting, I think Spirit is wanting you not to do that, right? The button is literally about pushing through to secure, right? So try to, I think, maintain resilience or motivation when it comes to this, because I think it will bear out positively for you. You guys have a lot happening over here in the career and finances sector of the chart as well. I feel like you're going to be going through some sort of change or transformation here with your finances. There's a lot here. You've got the sun in career. You've got this little key in career. So there's a spotlight on your career this month as well. With the 9 of Pentacles, that's a beautiful energy that we got in the last spread, which indicates that things are feeling pretty affluent and you're feeling pretty independent. You're feeling abundant in your career. You have enough to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But there's definitely something that Spirit is spotlighting for you around your life force energy and career this month for the positive, I feel, because the sun does bring positive energy or like a spotlight of who you are, maybe being highlighted more. There's also the key here, which talks about unlocking spiritual insight or spiritual wisdom here. And it could be with the sun, it could be like you unlocking the key to how you show up publicly, or you unlocking the key to how you can maintain your life force energy or authenticity at work. But it does feel like, I do feel that you guys are public for some reason. And it does feel positive to me when I'm tapping into the energy. But something's changing a little bit in finances. We have the letter C here. Again, initials could be significant there, different for everybody. Next to it, we do have this little teddy bear, which has to do with maybe children for some of you. There could be some changes with children that are significant when it comes to finances. The teddy bear technically has this keyword associated with it in the guidebook for these charms, which is the keyword of trauma. So there could be something connected to you changing or transmuting some sort of financial wound this month. I think that's probably the case for a lot of you with this key coming up under career and business. There's something that is spiritually unlocking for you because of the growth and wisdom. It reminds me a little bit of this pearl that we had, right? Wisdom that you have within you that's unlocking a new way of being and change for the better. You guys also, I think, are going to be investing in your health a little bit more this month too. With the second house, you could be spending money on something to do with health or fitness or just general well-being. The diamond here is about making a commitment, making a promise. Maybe there's some sort of a social aspect to your health as well, where it's like you're taking classes or something along those lines. But the second house typically has to do with our worth, our value, what we value, our resources that we generate ourselves. Maybe some of you guys are making money through health and well-being type of career paths, like medical field or fitness or something along those lines. You guys are also going to be getting some news or a message having to do with family and home matters this month. Something that's just like calling your attention a little bit here. Also the letter U. So again, this could be somebody's initials. You have lots of initials here. So take those as they resonate for you. They may not apply for everybody here. I wonder if it's literally talking about you, right? Like there's some news having to do with you, like your home or the way you are in family or something along those lines could be significant. It's also interesting too, because we had this 9 of Pentacles, which talked about being a first-time homeowner. So for a lot of you guys, if you have been looking to purchase a home and you are successful in that, maybe that's what this news is about too. It's like you're getting news that you've got the home, that you've got the house, the apartment, whatever it is that you're going for in your living situation. When it comes to yourself, there's a sharpness of mind, a sharpness of beliefs, some clarity of thought, clarity of communication that's coming through for you this month. Also have the letter O, so there's initials there again. But there definitely feels like there's some sort of a new beginning connected to yourself and the way that you're thinking, believing, and expressing, just more generally throughout the month of August. Your advice here is really interesting because it's represented by the number 1, okay? So the number 1 has to do with independence and determination. And then we also have the little skull and crossbones here, which talks about red flags, okay? So it kind of ties us back to, right, like this 9 of Pentacles energy and what I was picking up on with you guys feeling just fine being by yourself. I think there might just be some caution that Spirit is giving you when it comes to that. I really feel like you're being guided to invest in your social life, invest in other people this month, try to push through and make an effort there. There's nothing wrong, right, with being yourself or being by yourself. But I think that they're saying there's some sort of caution around doing that too much here. I think if a lot of you guys like health and fitness, this could be a good avenue to make a commitment or an investment, maybe spend money in this area if it gets you into like a social community here. So this is what I see for you, group 3. Looks like a very interesting month ahead. Comment below, let me know what you guys have planned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye.